All right, Shalom. All praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. Double honor to the apostles of the great millstone, the rule well, and peace and blessings to the elect. This is another edition of GMS News and Prophecy. And I'm going to start off with this article I have from Bearing Arms. And it's entitled, New Black Panther Party Leader Responds to Milwaukee Riots. This is War. From August 16, 2016. So it starts off by saying, as if we needed anyone else weighing in on the current situation in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, the National Minister of Defense for the People's New Black Panther Party is speaking out. Babu Amawale said there is a war against black people as we're the ones being murdered. After 23-year-old Civil Smith was shot and killed by police after he refused to drop his handgun loaded with 23 rounds when ordered by police. Founded in 2014 as an offshoot of the New Black Panther Party for Self-Defense, the People's New Black Panther Party is a militant black separatist group described by many as a hate group whose leaders have encouraged violence against whites, Jews, and law enforcement officers. Now, let me just start by saying that this People's New Black Panther Party, all right, is set up. Okay, this group is set up and funded more than likely by the same people that form Black Lives Matter or Fund Black Lives Matter, and the rest of these different separatist groups. And the reason why I'm bringing this out right now is these different groups are going to start off the race war that's coming to America. It's all propaganda and it's all a ploy to get the so-called Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans roused up. All right? But at the same time, this article that I'm using right here, this is to just show you the signs of the times that we're in. Now, granted, you do have certain sincere people within these groups, but their leaders are set up to bring about chaos. Okay, because for a group like this, especially this new Black Panther Party, People's New Black Panther Party, as described in this article, for them to advocate violence against whites, Jews, and law enforcement officers so blatantly, all right, and who have encouraged it. If you know anything about the Black Panther Party when it was officially set up, or I should say originally set up back in the 60s, that wasn't what they encouraged. Right? It was self-defense, which is what it says up here. But basically, it's a new party for these new young kids, so to get these young Americans roused up, man. Okay? To pop off this race war. But I'm going to continue on. It says, responding to the backlash in Milwaukee that rocked the dairy state over the weekend, Omawale has also suggested the violent protests were protected by the Second Amendment. In an on-air interview, he said, "What you see is people lashing out and fighting against the system." It says, as it is said in the Second Amendment, you know, so this is not new. The people in this country have always defended themselves against tyranny, so I can't liken this to a civil war. Is it a war? Yes, it is. It's a war against black people because we're the ones being murdered. We're the ones being killed. So there's been a war against us. But is it a civil war? I can't say that that's the case. So as you can see, there is a war going on within America, and it's so-called racially motivated, the race wars. Now this is what this new People's Black Panther Party leader is advocating. All right, that blacks get together, join the group so they can violently attack other whites. Okay, so now let's go from this article here. Let's go to this article I have from heatstreet.com. And it says, armed White Lives Matter protesters staged rally outside NAACP offices in Houston. Now this is from August 22nd, okay? And you can see there's a video, all right? And you can see you have these neo-Nazis, pro-American, white power Edomites, you know, protesting their cause. All right, so it says the Confederate flag was flying high in front of the National Association for the Advancement of People of Color, colored people, all right, offices in Houston this weekend. It says a group of armed white supremacists carrying White Lives Matter banners held up the blue and red flag to protest the NAACP's failure to condemn the Black Lives Matter movement for allegedly inciting the racially charged riots in Milwaukee and the targeted shooting of white police officers in Dallas last month. It says, we came out here to protest against the NAACP and their failure in speaking out against the atrocities that organizations like Black Lives Matter and other pro-black organizations have caused with the attack and killing of white police officers, the burning down of cities and things of that nature, protest leader Ken Reed told the Chronicle on Sunday. If they're going to be a civil rights organization and defend their people, they also need to hold their people accountable. Protesters were holding assault rifles and a sign reading 14 words, a reference to a white supremacist 14-word slogan coined by David Lane. We must secure the existence of our people and the future for white children. Police, local residents, and bypassers looked on. So now you have this other group, so-called White Lives Matter, okay, which is also set up. They're protesting against black people for what the black people, so-called black people, or basically what one, which, you know what, is basically, they're protesting for their people, man. All right, and you got Jake, so-called black people, protesting for them. So as you can see, it's two opposing sides right now. All right, you got so-called blacks, Israelites versus so-called white, these Edomites. Okay, and now you have these groups popping up in these different news articles and these different news interviews and, you know, the different outlets of media all over the country. So basically, the spirit out here in America right now is for so-called blacks and whites to choose a side. Okay, and that's what's going on. All right. These groups start to choose a side, and this is really funny to me because it's just exactly what we've been told was to happen in the scriptures. Okay, I'm not gonna be too long. I just want to bring out these articles and just to show how there is going to be a race war, and it's being set up before our eyes. Okay, it's being funded, it's being set up, and it's being propagated through the media, through propaganda, to bring about chaos in America. Okay. It's just a couple more links to other articles, some Twitter captions. But basically, you see the point. So I'm gonna go into these scriptures, and I'm gonna start at Isaiah 19th chapter. Start the first verse. It says, "The burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord." Now Egypt is America, okay? Egypt is the spiritual representation of America in the scriptures. All right. Today is all cold worded. So only the prophets can bring it out, and that's what we're bringing out. There's a burden of America that is being brought upon it by the Most High. How about you, Shai? So it says, "Behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, shall come into America, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it." So the heart of America is melting, meaning its pride, its moral code, its standards, what the dream that people were set up to believe in is failing. All right, verse 2, and this is the point. It says, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, or Americans against the Americans. You got the so-called black Americans versus the so-called white Americans, okay? And they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against city. City against city, and kingdom against kingdom. So that's what all these protests are about. It's all prophecy, okay? Everything you've seen in the news was already told before, according to the scriptures. Now I'm gonna go from there. Let's go to book of Isaiah. Stay in the book of Isaiah. Let's go to the 13th chapter. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 13. And start at verse 13. It says, therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place in the wrath of the Lord of hosts, and in the day of his fierce anger. Talking about the day of the Lord. And it shall be as the chase roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people, and flee everyone into his own land. Now the key point that I want to highlight in this verse, in verse 14, is they shall every man turn to his own people. All right? So you see the whites, they're starting their White Lives Matter, their KKK rallies, their new so-called white supremacist movements. Meanwhile, so-called blacks, okay, you Israelites out here, you have your own way of combating the injustices in America. Whether it's the new Black Panther Party, or you try to be awakened and join the Black conscious community. But slowly but surely, there's an actual divide in America between so-called blacks and so-called whites, because the Most High never set up for the different nations to integrate. Everybody was given their own land back in the ancient world. So when America was set up, all right, in the act of defiance against the Most High has to come down, and like the scripture says, the heart of Egypt, or the heart of America, is going to fail in the midst of it, because he's taking that togetherness spirit out of America, man. Okay? This is verse 15. It says, everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. So if you Israelites out here, if you're joined unto America and still trying to join hand in hand with these white people, man, these Edomites, that's not the way to go. Okay? First of all, they're your enemy. Okay? Now, I'm not saying that the new Black Panther Party, they're right and you should do what they say. No, you should do what we say as the prophets of the Lord. Okay? And wait on Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. So this is Zephaniah chapter 2 verse 1. It says, gather yourselves together, ye gather together, O nation not desired. Which is talking about Israel. You so-called blasphemers and Native Americans. Before the decree bring forth, before the day passes to chaff, before the fierce anger of the Lord come upon you, before the day of the Lord's anger come upon you. We're going to shake the earth, because these race wars are going to pop off. It says, seek ye the Lord, all ye meek of the earth, which is the Israelites, which have wrought his judgment. Seek righteousness, seek meekness, and may be ye shall be hid in the day of the Lord's anger, because the elect of Israel is going to be delivered. Okay? But you must understand, these race wars are to happen. But if you come back to Yahweh Shem Shai, you're not going to be caught up in the madness, man, because there's going to be a chaotic race wars and class wars, and all kinds of different things are going to happen in this so-called country, man. So you got to be prepared. But I just want to bring out these articles, man, just to show you that these things are happening, man. Okay? These race wars are going to happen, and soon you're going to start seeing martial law, violent protests, all of that, man, pursuing the 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter. All right? So with that, I'm going to give all praises, all glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Double honor to the apostles of the great millstone that rule well. Peace and blessings as always to the elect. Shalom.